We're talking about ordering worship, and we're trying to get the sort of Google Earth view of what the order of worship. See, there I said it again. It's just so easy to resort to worship speaking in passive terms. The order of worship. It's a sort of a static, fixed thing. It's something you can put into a bulletin. Now, I'm not trying to poo-poo bulletins. Sorry, I just said poo-poo. But I am trying to say that that's not the measure of the order of worship. We're talking about ordering worship. Now, let me take you to a passage, one of the favorite New Testament passages that people bring out to talk about worship. It says, therefore, have the same mind. No, I've already done that one. That's my favorite. It's this one. It's Romans 12. Therefore, I urge you, brothers and sisters, to, in view of God's mercy, again, in view of God's mercy, that's this piece. This is the view of God's mercy. The God who comes down and goes all the way back up. To offer your bodies. And that's interesting here. Bodies, plural, as a living sacrifice, singular. A lot of times translations say sacrifices. It's actually a one living sacrifice. Many bodies, one sacrifice. Holy and pleasing to God. This is your spiritual act of worship. This is what worship is. The word there in the Greek is liturgia. This is the work of the people. This is one of those words that have been ruined, unfortunately. Then do not conform any longer to the pattern of this world. Now, you remember the pattern of this world? This is the mind of Adam. This is unfortunately the default. This is what we're born into. This pride form, this form of humanity that is riddled with disobedience and questing after a name for ourselves and trying to be somebody when we already are God's own beloved. Do not conform to this pattern, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Okay? Remember, have the same mind in you, the mind of Christ. It was in Christ Jesus. This is what good worship does. Worship orders our mind. It orders our lives. It orders our community. You see, whatever's happening inside the room, that's what's going to happen outside of the room. If there's chaos inside, there'll be chaos outside. If there's order inside, creativity will burst forth through the doors. So then you will be able to test and approve what God's will is. His good, His pleasing and perfect will. This is the hardest thing in the world to find, because as sure as you think you're doing this, you're actually doing this. It's why we need a worship leader. It's why we follow Jesus. Only He can lead us in this way of worship.